Every liquor store has a shelf built to punish confidence. Scotch is the worst offender because a few corporations have convinced grown adults that a heavier bottle and a fancier box equals better whiskey. At $80 to $300 a bottle, that illusion gets expensive fast, and it's why so many bartenders quietly redirect orders the moment certain names come out of a customer's mouth. Based on my experience behind and across bars, today we're exposing 7 scotches that routinely deliver poor value for their price, and the 5 pours pros actually recommend when they want you to leave happy, not just impressed by a label. And stay with me, because number 1 might be the best $50 to $70 you spend all year. Here's the deal. Bartenders refuse to serve doesn't mean a secret blacklist. It means the bottles that make a good bartender wince because the marketing promised luxury and the liquid delivered fine. If you like any of these, enjoy what you enjoy. Before we count down, remember the 3 quiet shortcuts that separate value from hype: low bottling strength, heavy filtration, and cosmetic coloring. When a bottle sits at 40% ABV, chill filtered for clarity, and potentially treated with E150A caramel coloring for consistent shade, you're not automatically getting bad whiskey, but you are often getting whiskey optimized for shelf appeal and mass acceptance. That's fine at a fair price. It becomes a problem when the price keeps climbing while the specs stay entry level. Keep those cues in mind because you'll see the pattern repeat. Number 12. Glenlivet 12. Glenlivet 12 is what happens when mass appeal becomes the product and flavor becomes the compromise. It's a historic Speyside name, and today it sits inside the Pernod Ricard machine, which means it's built to be consistent, approachable, and safe for the widest audience possible. At $40 to $55 in many markets, Glenlivet 12 is priced like a proper Scotch, but it's typically bottled at 40% ABV, and that lower strength shows up as lighter texture and shorter impact. The nose is soft orchard fruit and vanilla, then the palate arrives. Thin, a little sweet, a little floral, and then it's gone. The finish disappears before you can even decide what you liked about it. This is Scotch designed by committee to offend no one, and that also means it thrills almost no one. Here's what Glenlivet hopes you never notice. In the same price band, you can find bottles with more weight, more malt character, and more honesty in the glass. If you're ordering it at a bar because it feels like the safe adult choice, you're paying a familiarity tax. The verdict is simple. Glenlivet 12 isn't bad whiskey. It's just often bad value when it's positioned as your default. Number 11. Glenfiddich 12. Glenfiddich 12 is the world's most common single malt for a reason. It's easy. It's made by William Grant & Sons, a family-owned giant, with real history and enormous scale, and they've mastered the art of producing a consistent, friendly Speyside profile. Friendly is not a sin. Being overpriced for friendly is. At $45 to $60, Glenfiddich 12 is frequently sitting above bottles that deliver more personality, and it's usually bottled at 40% ABV for maximum broad appeal. On the nose, you get pear, soft malt, and a hint of oak. On the palate, it's gentle sweetness, light fruit, and a clean finish that feels like it's trying not to take up space. There's nothing wrong with a polite whiskey, but this is where the everywhere bottle tax kicks in. You're paying for distribution and brand gravity more than the liquid. Bartenders see this constantly. Someone wants a nice Scotch, and they point to Glenfiddich because they recognize it. If that's you, listen. Recognition is not a tasting note. If you want the light Speyside lane, there are better values that don't charge you extra for being famous. Glenfiddich 12 is a competent pour that too often costs like it's a standout, and we're only getting started. Number 10. Chivas Regal 18. Chivas 18 sells you the idea of upgrade, but the liquid often lands closer to polished and safe than worth the premium. Chivas is another Pernod Ricard powerhouse, and blends are not inherently inferior. The issue is what happens when 18 and a sleek package convince people they're buying depth by default. At $65 to $90, Chivas 18 is marketed as a luxurious step up from entry-level blends, and it's commonly bottled at 40% ABV, because smoothness sells. The reality, for my palate, is a honeyed profile with dried fruit and spice, but it's rounded to the point of being blurry. The texture is pleasant, the edges are sanded down, and the finish is tidy, almost too tidy. You get comfort, not definition. This is where the value problem bites. In that same $65 to $90 window, you can buy single malts with higher intensity, clearer structure, and more distinctive character. Chivas 18 is the bottle people order when they want to signal they know something without risking a strong flavor. That makes it an easy sell, not necessarily a smart buy. If you love it, great. But if you're buying it to upgrade, you might be upgrading the packaging more than the experience. Number 9. Dalmore 12 and the Dalmore Luxury Ladder. Dalmore is the bottle that wants to look like a trophy first and taste like a trophy second. The stag on the front is doing a lot of work, and the brand is owned by White and Mackay, which sits under Yempre d'Or, meaning it lives in the world of premium positioning and big margin storytelling. At $80 to $110 for Dalmore 12 in many places, you're paying luxury money for a whiskey often bottled at 40% ABV, and that's the first clue you're buying image. The nose can be orange peel, chocolate, and oak polish. The palate brings sweet spice and fruit, but there's often a glossy, engineered feel, like the flavors were assembled to match a luxury brochure. The finish can be medium, warm, and a little drying, but not always layered enough to justify the price. Then the ladder starts. Once you climb into $150 to $300 expressions, the story gets louder and the value gets shakier. You can absolutely find good Dalmore bottlings, but the brand's business model encourages you to pay for the stag, the decanter vibe, and the impressive reputation. Number 8. Macallan, especially entry luxury expressions. Macallan is the masterclass in brand gravity, where the name can inflate the price faster than the flavor can keep up. It's owned by the Edrington Group, and it's built into one of the strongest luxury narratives in Scotch: sherry casks, heritage, and prestige. The liquid can be excellent. The problem is what you're asked to pay for the privilege of saying the word. At 90 to 130 kilos for many core range Macallan bottles, you're operating in a zone where the competition gets brutally serious. Yet plenty of Macallan releases land at 40% ABV, chill filtered, and tuned for a smooth, glossy profile that reads premium, even when the texture says standard. You get dried fruit, vanilla, baking spice, and polished oak. What you don't always get is the wow, that's worth it leap that the price implies. Here's what Macallan hopes you never notice. The secondary market hype and gift culture are part of the product. The box is part of the product. The name is part of the product. If you're buying Macallan because you think it's the safest, best Scotch, you're buying the reputation, not necessarily the best whiskey your budget can afford. In my assessment, it's one of the easiest places to overspend without realizing you did, and we're halfway through the worst offenders. Number 7. Duty-free and travel retail exclusives. Travel retail Scotch thrives on one thing. You can't comparison shop it easily, and that confusion is profitable. This category has existed for decades, and the airport has always been a perfect stage for it. Tired travelers, a clock ticking, and a feeling that you're getting something special you won't see at home. At $70 to $180, these bottles often pitch a story you can't verify. Unique finishes, rare batches, special editions. Sometimes they're good. Too often, the specs are vague, the age is unclear, the bottling strength is standard, and the exclusive part is just distribution. The marketing promised something singular. The liquid delivered something general. And because the label is unique, you can't easily pull up a direct price-to-quality comparison in the moment. Bartenders don't love these because you can't have an honest value conversation without transparency. If the bottle hides the basics, age statement, filtration, coloring, clear, production cues, your money is being asked to trust a story, and stories are easy to print. If you want a souvenir, fine. If you want value, travel exclusives are where value goes to die in a nice-looking box. Number 6. Johnnie Walker Blue Label. Blue Label is the classic luxury gift Scotch. Expensive, impressively packaged, and too often outperformed by bottles that cost far less. Johnnie Walker is a Diageo flagship, and Blue is positioned as the pinnacle. Smooth, rare, special, prestigious. At $180 to $300, you're usually looking at 40% ABV and a blend engineered to be universally palatable. Blue Label smells elegant. Honey, light smoke, soft fruit. It tastes smooth, sweet, lightly smoky, and carefully blended to please people who don't actually like strong Scotch character. The finish is pleasant, but the complexity often doesn't match the price. It's the whiskey equivalent of a luxury sedan tuned to feel quiet, not fast. Here's the consumer protection lesson. The more a bottle is designed to impress non-whiskey people, the more you should suspect you're paying for status. You're paying for the blue box, the name recognition, and the feeling of, I bought the top one. If you love blue, enjoy it. But if you're buying it to experience the best Scotch your money can buy, based on my experience, you're often paying far more than the liquid justifies. Now for the bottles that actually earn your money. Same category, wildly different priorities. These are the Scotches that show up in the glass, not just on the shelf. And they're the ones bartenders recommend when they want you to come back and trust their palate. The top 3 will change how you shop forever, because they prove value is a choice the producer makes. Number 5. Benromach 10. Benromach 10 is character without the corporate sanding. It's made at Benromach in Speyside and associated with Gordon and MacPhail, a name that's earned respect for taking whiskey seriously long before it was trendy. This is a bottle that feels like it was made for drinkers, not for focus groups. At $45 to $60, Benromach 10 gives you a traditional leaning profile that actually has texture, often bottled at a more flavorful strength than the big entry-level names. The nose brings malt, orchard fruit, a touch of smoke, and a hint of sherry richness. On the palate you get a satisfying mix. Toasted cereal, gentle peat, spice, and a slightly oily mouthfeel that tells you the whiskey wasn't designed to vanish. The finish lingers with smoke, oak, and fruit, long enough to feel like a conversation, not a handshake. What makes this a bartender recommendation is how honest it is. It doesn't pretend to be luxury. It just tastes complete. If you're the person who says, I want Scotch, but not something boring, Benromach 10 is a clean answer at a price that doesn't punish you for having taste. This is what Scotch was meant to be. Balanced, flavorful, and unapologetically itself. Number 4. Glenallachie 12. Glenallachie 12 is the mid-shelf bottle that drinks above its pay grade, and it's a great example of what happens when the brand spends money on casks instead of commercials. The distillery was sold by Pernod Ricard's Chivas brothers to a consortium led here by Billy Walker, and the modern identity leans hard into flavor-first decisions. At $55 to $75, Glenallachie 12 is where a lot of luxury scotches start feeling awkward, because it brings richness without the luxury surcharge. The nose shows honey, dried fruit, and warm spice. The palate delivers deeper notes, dark sugar, orchard fruit, cocoa, and a satisfying weight that doesn't feel watered down. The finish sticks around with sweet spice and oak, and it does that rare thing. It makes you want another sip to check what you missed. A bartender recommends this when you're about to overpay for a famous sherried name. Because here's the thing, sherry influence is supposed to add depth, not just sweetness. Glenallachie 12 tends to deliver that depth for the money. And it's priced like it still cares about regular drinkers. This proves premium quality doesn't require premium pricing. It requires better priorities. Number 3. Liedeg 10. Liedeg 10 is smoke with a spine. It's made at Tobermory Distillery on the Isle of Mull, founded back in the late 1700s, and it still tastes like the island has a say in the recipe. At $50 to $70, Liedeg 10 is a peated malt that punches above its price by being unashamedly bold. The nose is maritime smoke, pepper, and a gritty coastal edge, like a campfire near the sea. On the palate, the smoke doesn't just sit on top, it mixes with earthy malt, citrus, and spice, creating layers that feel alive. The finish is long, warming and smoky, with enough salt and pepper to keep it from turning into sweet barbecue. If you've been paying $90 to $140 for peat because you think prestige equals intensity, Ledig is the correction. It's not designed to be smooth for everyone. It's for people who want Scotch to have a point of view. And the value is simple. You're paying for character, not for a marketing halo. Number 2, Glendronach 12. Glendronach 12 is the sherried Scotch that doesn't need a costume. The distillery was acquired by Brown-Forman as part of a larger Scotch purchase. And regardless of ownership, this bottle has earned its place by delivering a rich sherry profile with real weight. At 60 to 85 milliliters, Glendronach 12 offers the kind of satisfying depth people think they're buying when they grab a luxury sherry cask name. The nose leans into raisin, dark fruit, cocoa, and toasted oak. The palate is where it wins. Rich malt, dried fruit, chocolate, and baking spice, with a mouth-coating texture that feels intentional. The finish lingers with dark sweetness and oak long enough to justify the pour. Here's my personal tell. The first time I watched someone order a high-priced luxury sherry Scotch to celebrate, they nodded politely after the sip like they'd just paid for permission to like it. Then they tried Glendronach 12 side by side, and their face changed, because the flavor showed up without needing an expensive introduction. When someone says, "I like Macallan," they're often really saying, "I like rich sherried Scotch." Glendronach 12 is a smarter way to buy that profile without paying the full luxury tax. Number 1, Arran 10. Arran 10 is the Scotch that rewrites your shopping instincts because it proves how much you've been overpaying for prestige. It comes from the Isle of Arran, made by Isle of Arran distillers, and it has the energy of a producer focused on the liquid, not on building a lifestyle brand around it. At $50 to $70, Arran 10 is a value punch so clean it almost feels unfair. The nose is fresh, citrus, green apple, honey, and bright malt. The palate is lively and layered, sweet malt, orchard fruit, gentle spice, and a crisp, clean structure that keeps it from getting cloying. The texture is satisfying, and the finish is longer than you expect at this price, with fruit, malt, and a gentle warmth that invites another sip. What makes Arran 10 a bartender's recommendation is how reliably it delivers. It's approachable without being boring, complex without being pretentious. If you want a bottle that works neat, with a splash of water, or in a high-end Scotch cocktail without collapsing, Arran 10 is built for that job. And when someone is about to spend $200 to impress a room, this is the bottle that quietly proves taste doesn't need a stage. We're at the end, and I want you to think about your last Scotch purchase. Did you buy flavor, or did you buy reassurance? Because the industry makes a fortune selling reassurance in glass bottles. The fix isn't becoming a snob. The fix is demanding that the liquid earns the price. Swap one prestige bottle for 2 honest ones. Ask your bartender for the value pour, not the famous pour. And if you've been paying the label tax, start testing your assumptions. Buy 1 bottle for flavor, not for applause. These 5 recommendations are how you take your money back, one better sip at a time.